Hello. I did my media project on the Guardians of the Galaxy because I love superheroes and it's one of my favorite Marvel movies. Today we're going to look at four concepts of small groups that can be seen in Guardians of the Galaxy. What is it about? It's about this little MacGuffin right here, the Power Stone. The whole movie's about you either want it to do this, destroy worlds, or you want it to sell it to people that's going to do this. So either you want to be rich or you want to be stupid powerful. Well, the first one is group rules or group roles, I mean, in Guardians of the Galaxy. The five main characters all have some sort of trait, which is discussed in our lesson two. Three types of roles, three main types of roles. It's task oriented, maintenance oriented, and self-centered oriented roles. Main character Star Lord, nickname, real name Peter Quill, nickname Maintenance Man because he has all the maintenance traits. He's all about de-escalating. He de-escalated a situation. This picture right here between Rocket and Drax. They're about to kill each other. Super supportive. He's a standard setter. He carries himself a certain way. He always chirps on the others when they're slacking off in the movie. He wants to be seen up neat. Gamora, she's just like Star Lord. She's also very maintenance oriented roles. She's also a good evaluator, critic, and coordinator. She kind of decides what the group is going to do next, like their main goal. And Star Lord's more about how is he going to convince the other Guardians to accept that goal. The other Guardians is Drax. He's all the self-centered ones. He calls him the main guy because he has a huge ego. He's traumatized. He puts all of that into other people. He's a bully, like hurt people. That saying, that's Drax pretty much. He's a bully because he's super insecure and he has a lot of issues. Um, Rocket, he comes up with all the stuff. They escape a prison. He pretty much does all the work when he escapes a prison. He creates a gun that destroys like this ship that was indestructible. I mean, he does a lot of the engineering, and he's Drax but a genius. That's how I would put him. Groot, he does whatever Rocket says. Then later on, Quill, when Quill kind of becomes the leader, he's just there to do strong stuff and be a standard setter for Rocket and be a more put Rocket's morals into check pretty much. So that was the rules of the group. The second state or forming. Forming. First is forming. The stages of development. Forming, they kind of formed in this prison. That's when they kind of introduce each other, they kind of meet, they kind of observe their strengths. Rather than goals, it's more they kind of determine their strengths and how what they're good at, what they're bad at, because and then they kind of form their goal in after they escape prison and after they kind of formally meet each other is the storming. They decide their role is going to be, or they decide their roles and they decide their goal instead of doing what they all want to do because they all have these like very sporadic goals that kind of attain one another. But Star Lord kind of figures out how, like, hey, we all want to get this stone out of our hands and we all want to make money. So let's decide with Gamora's decision, and that is sell it to a third party so they're all rich. That doesn't go as planned. Ronan comes because the main villain because of Drax, and this sets off a fight scene where the norming stage kicks in. The roles are advanced. They build off of each other's weaknesses. We see this in their fighting style. With Gamora and Rocket, they kind of team up. They do special moves together with planes and communicating, and to defeat Ronan's fleet. Drax officially joins the group and decides to save Quill and Gamora, kind of letting up his self-centered roles a little bit and joining a group. They're more cohesive, they're more of a group in this stage. And then the leadership, this is due because of Star Lord's leadership. He's very situational because he's not born a leader. It's very situational based what our chapter talks about. He's delegating. He's very much a stage 4 level leader. he's letting the individuals carry out the plan as he would. He's very it's more of just a mind, he's more of a mindset leadership rather than how are we going to do this, because they're all individually capable of doing it. But they need to work together or need to work together, and he does that through a mindset base of turning their motives into turning their individual wants into group wants, and then later turning their group wants into group needs, saving the world. So he's just kind of the leader in that group. Becoming Guardian, kind of how Star Lord convinces them. Their goals line up. Everyone's goals kind of line up in this movie. In the goal theory, goal theory is goals are given to us for motivation and needs. We see this. Thanos hires Ronan to get the stone, and he gives him a goal. He's like, "Hey, you'll be super powerful if you give me the goal." We see that in the through there. Everyone wants, the goal is to get the orb to become rich or super powerful. And then prevalence theory is the individual is almost always likely to side towards the net positive. We see this a lot with Rocket. Rocket's a great example. He's super self-centered, and but he's smart. So he he's able to decide what is going to be more beneficial with him, with selling the orb or with not selling the orb, not willing to die. But eventually they realize that they have to put past each other and save the world. And saving the world part is the performing stage in their group development. This is where they start smoothly conducting teamwork very well. The final scene is this big battle with Ronin ships. They go through Ronin ships, piece of cake. They're all performing together, building off of each other's weakness more. But this time it's all five of them together, and they're doing it really well. And they eventually up killing Ronin because they're successful. In conclusion, the Guardians were very goal driven. First, it was self centered, and then it was just, hey, we need to save the world, and we're losers, and we can be something better today. Star Lord taught them how to share pain, kind of what I was talking about, how they were all losers and they need to come together to become something better. That's Star Lord. Thank you, Star Lord, for doing that. And they're very functional towards the end of the group, towards the end of the film, making them a successful group at the end. Here's my references. It is the lessons and the movie. Thank you for paying attention.